You've been doing a lot of research, a lot of homework, a lot of investigation because you've decided it's now time for you to take the plunge and get your own launch monitor. So, should this be the one? Straight ahead, we take an up-close look at the Uneekor Eye Mini Lite. Hello friends, and welcome inside the MGL Sim Studio. A few months ago, the great team at the Indoor Golf Shop worked with us to put together the perfect sim kit that you see behind me here. They do everything so well as they will for you, and part of the discussions we were having was what launch monitor would work the best for this space and for our needs. And they recommended the Uneekor Eye XO, which you see mounted on the ceiling up here. Great choice, love it. It's absolutely perfect, but I also realize that it's not perfect for everybody. It may not be perfect for the space you're putting together because maybe the ceiling's not the right height, maybe the budget's a little bit smaller than it would require for the XO, and you're looking for something to sit on the ground but still give you a robust simulator experience. I have good news for you. The same team at Uneekor has developed the Eye Mini Lite. Now, throughout the course of our video, I want you to keep in mind the word light because they also have a unit called the Eye Mini that's a bit more robust than this one, and it's also a bit more expensive. So over the course of the next few moments, I'd like to walk you through 5 things I think you will love about the Eye Mini Lite, as well as 2 things that are frustrations and definitely cause for concern before you make the purchase. We know this, every launch monitor purchase is a major purchase. So you definitely want to do all of your homework, and we'll do our best to give you a feel for this one in the moments ahead. Let's get started with the 5 things I think you'll love about the Uneekor Mini Lite. Number 1, the ease of setup. I don't know about you, but during my early parenting years, the 3 most dreaded words that I ever encountered around Christmas time were some assembly required, because putting things together for hours and hours on end is not my idea of a fun way to spend a half a day. The good news is that with the Eye Mini Lite, your time from the initial unboxing to actually getting everything configured in your computer and hitting balls into the screen so that it can be monitored by the Mini Lite is really very quick. It's got a wonderfully intuitive setup process that works quite well as long as you've got things plugged in. Keep in mind, the Mini Lite does require hardwire connections, both for power and into the Ethernet port of your computer. There's no way around that. That's part of the light part of the Mini Lite. But the process is really simple. It's well guided through video tutorials, and I think that from unboxing to the first strike of the golf ball, you can have the whole thing done in less than 15 minutes. Number 2 is something I think you'll notice from the moment you take it out of the box, and that is the quality of the build, followed by the quality of the user experience. As a golfer, when you make the investment into a launch monitor, you want good results from it, and you want reliability from the device itself. Well, there's a heftiness to the build of the Mini Lite. Don't let the light part fool you there. It's not light from a physical standpoint. You don't have to worry about somebody walking around it and, stubbing their toe into it and suddenly it doesn't work. This thing is very, very sturdy, and your game will definitely benefit if you put in the time to practice and use the data that it kicks out. The quality of the build and the user experience are really, really good. Number 3, the versatility for practice or full play is fantastic. Now, I thought when something called the Lite was coming my way, that it would only offer a small fraction of the versatility that the Mini XO that I have mounted on the ceiling offers, right? Because the price difference between the two is quite considerable. Well, they're both equally as robust. They both use the Uneekor brain system to take you through practice sessions. If you're using another software program like GS Pro, a third party, this connects directly into that. Now you've opened up the world of playing 700 plus golf courses. Everything that you see in the much more expensive versions of Uneekor is available in this Mini Lite from a practice and play standpoint, and I absolutely love that, which leads us into the fourth thing that I love about the Mini Lite. Data, data, data. If you are a data nerd, you will be rejoicing. You might throw a ticker tape parade because the Mini Lite kicks out all the numbers you could ever want, and to be honest with you, probably more than you'll ever want. So whether or not you really know what all the data points mean is irrelevant to this particular point. I'm just telling you that it kicks out information far greater than I expected to see in something called the Mini Lite. And the fifth and final thing that I think you're going to love about this is the price point. We do know that all launch monitor purchases are major purchases, so you're not going to get something of quality for a couple $100. But at $27.50-ish, that's the range, depending on the sales that are going on. It might fluctuate a little bit, but at the time of this video, it's clocking in at $27.50 for the base, and then you've got some subscriptions that have to come on top of that we'll talk about here in the next couple of moments. And by the way, if you choose to purchase your Eye Mini Lite through our friends at the Indoor Golf Shop, make sure you use the link below or use promo code MGL25 and it'll save you a little bit more on top of that purchase price. Hey, that was really fun. I did not struggle in the least to come up with 5 things that I love about the Mini Lite. In fact, the list could have been much, much longer. This is a robust piece of equipment, and it delivered on an experience actually beyond what I expected from something called light. Remember, I have the Uneekor Eye XO on the ceiling here in the sim space, and the experiences are very, very similar, and this one is a fraction of the price of its big brother hanging up top. However, I need to close things out with 2 things that I think might need to be included on your list of considerations and reservations. Number 1, this is not portable. This is not going anywhere. It has to be plugged in, so you'll have some cables to deal with for whatever it's worth. The Ethernet cable that came with it was not nearly long enough for my needs, so I had to reconfigure some of my computer workstation area. You might have to go pick up another Ethernet cable that's a little bit longer. And if you don't mind having some cords as part of your space, then you won't be bothered at all by the fact that this has to be tethered. It's not going to work on a battery. It doesn't have one. That's part of the light feature, right? And number 2, like all launch monitors these days, to get the full experience out of it, you're going to have a subscription package of some sort. The good news is I think Uneekor is generally the gentlest, the most budget-friendly when it comes to subscription options on an annual basis. So make sure you do your homework, because just like a car purchase in the 90s, where you got the 4 wheels and the steering wheel, you then had to add on your options. That's kind of how the launch monitor world works these days. You're paying a price for the hardware, but then for the experience, you have to keep on adding on. Drives me crazy. I wish they would just do a one price out the door, and in some cases they do. So take a look. Sometimes Uneekor has packages that allow you to do that, and other times there are different tiers of annual subscription packages. And one last bit of advice, when you decide on your gameplay software, I don't get anything from it, but I would recommend GS Pro. We use that here, and it's fantastic. There's like 700 courses, really cool practice opportunities, and all that stuff. So for whatever it's worth, I would go with GS Pro if I were you. And I'm still trying to track down the guy behind GS Pro to interview him, but I don't care. If I never find him again, you've done great work. Thanks for all your help. I hope you'll check out what our friends at the Indoor Golf Shop have to offer. They have this for sale. They have all of the launch monitors for sale. They can build your entire sim space kit for you, just like they did for us. And the team down there is fully dedicated to working with your dimensions, your desires, your budget, and all of it. So check out the Indoor Golf Shop. We've got a link to them in the notes below. Enjoy your search for the perfect launch monitor for your space. And overall, I would give 2 enthusiastic thumbs up to the Uneekor Mini Lite if I wasn't holding on to it with one of my hands. So we'll just go with 1 right now. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll subscribe. We'll see you next time.